I used to get into a lot of trouble when I was a kid too. And I mean, so many close calls that, I mean, yo, there's so many close calls in my life that, yo, I should have been a drug addict. I should have been literally dead, like for real dead, like buried. I should be in prison or done a stint at least or something. But I always, I don't know, I always kind of got by, man. Always managed to get by. You know? I don't even know why I'm here now. But I guess this is why I'm doing this. In a way. I'm doing this because of that. So when I got into a lot of shit when I was a kid. I went through a lot of bullshit when I was a little kid. But that's because my mom was wilding. And she was out there. So one particular night, she decides she wants to go out and hang out. And she's going to leave me and my brother home alone. So she always, you know, say the same old thing that mom said back in those days. Don't answer the door for nobody. Don't let nobody in. And just stay in the house. So she left. So my brother, no disrespect to my brother, but Travis is a mama's boy. Yeah, he always stayed with my mom. Me, every chance I got to get away from that stupid block, as much as I love that block of, you know, Memories, Lincoln Road, it had its days. I don't want to be around these people because they don't know how to act. You know what I'm saying? One minute they're your friend, next minute they're trying to beat your head in the ground. Like, what kind of, this is confusing. Are you my fucking friend or are you, what the fuck, you know? So, she decides to go out. Now, my brother's not happy about this. So, for hours, this nigga is screaming out the window, at the top of his lungs, crying and screaming for my mother, out the window. I could imagine everybody on the block must have heard that shit. I'm telling him, shh, oh, be quiet, you know, she'll be back soon. Yo, this nigga is going on. Mom! Mommy! Like screaming. The top of his lungs. So, you let him do his thing. Me? I'm not going to sleep. This nigga went to sleep. I'm not going to sleep. Because there's monsters lurking about. And I have to keep the lights on. So, as soon as my mother left, every light was on. Every fucking light was on. Including the TV. Because this is the days when TV went off. But I kept that TV on. So, what do? Well, one thing I started doing back in the day was always rifle through my mother's pockets looking for spare change. And I collected a lot of change. And put that on stash. Then I decided I wanted to boil water that night. So I boiled some water really hot. And the stray cats would always be eating out the garbage that was right under my window. I'm like three floors up. But the garbage cans were lined up. And the row of windows, the garbage cans was lined up. And the cats would walk across the top of the garbage. And I would take the boiling water, and from that perspective, looking down, it always looks, the water looks like, if you put a drop of water, it looks like a bullet shooting across it. So you got to think of that perspective as a straight perspective. Like that, but going this way. And I would just, and let the drip of water go down. And it would pop, and the cat would jump. And then you'll just continue doing it. And when he was right underneath the garbage can, like the garbage can right there, that's when I would take the boiling hot water and I would just, and it would just, and it, he'd run and I'd laugh. It was funny. So you do that for a couple of hours to entertain yourself. Alright, so now I'm done with that. So I rifled through all the pockets. I got all the loose change. I read all the Playboy books, looked at all the girls. Because they try to keep, back in the day, my mom, they kept Playboy books underneath the bed, underneath the military. I found those. Because the one thing I did as a kid is I searched the entire apartment. Every crevice of that apartment, I searched it. Every crevice. Every crevice. So I knew all shit was hidden at, including the drugs. So I don't know what I was doing. I have to be honest, I might have been playing with matches. I had to be playing with matches. So I'm playing with matches. I'm playing with them. And I get up to go to the kitchen. So I'm going in the kitchen and I'm doing what I gotta do. My brother fell asleep on my mom's bed. So he's on the bed asleep. The TV's right here in the corner, and I was sitting at the edge of the bed on the floor, next, by him. And I must have been playing with the matches. And I get up to go to the kitchen, do whatever I was doing. When I come out of the kitchen, the blanket is slowly catching fire. I start to panic for a split second because it's moving. Thank God it's moving slow, but it's burning. The blanket is burning. Yo, I ran back in the bathroom, grabbed that pot, filled it with water, ran back in it, and poured all the water on the fire and got it out just in time. Whew. I almost burnt the fucking apartment down. Probably would have hurt my brother really bad with the fire. This is why you don't leave kids at home alone. But back in those days, that's what we did. You know how kids growing up in the fucking kids in the 60s and 70s, nigga. We different. we different. But now the bed is soaked on. It's the side of the blanket. It's the blanket that lays over the bed. Over the bed. So it's not the top, it's the side. But it's still wet. So now I take a scissor, so I clean up all the water. I take a scissor and I try to cut the burns off. And I rip it. Not realizing that the house smells like smoke. So at that point, we crash out. My mother finally comes home. She wakes us up. She asked me what happened to the blanket. I said, oh, we were playing and we ripped it. They already knew what happened. They can deduce what happened, but I'm a lie. Because I'm a kid, I'm lying. What happened to the blanket? Oh, we were playing and I ripped it. I'll take the rip. Instead of telling her that, I almost set it on fire playing with matches. But she figured it out. Of course, I get a beating. I get the beating. You leave the little children home alone, but I get the beating. Ay, ay, ay. And then, that was that. I almost set my brother on fire. I almost set the apartment on fire. Got my ass whipped. And I got in a lot of trouble like that. Like there was a time where they left us alone again, right? They left us alone. Again, they left us alone. So, back in those days, the TVs had tubes in the back. Tubes. So our TV, the back wasn't on. For some reason, it was the TV, but the back of it cover was gone. So all the tubes were exposed. So I broke it. I was fucking with it, and I broke it. So here's what I did. When my mother came home, and she was, whatever she was doing, I took one of the tubes, and I threw it at the TV to make it sound like it might have popped or fell on the floor. That didn't work. she figured me out again, and I broke the TV. And I got in trouble again. I probably got my ass whipped too. I got a lot of ass whippings when I was a kid. So because of that time, it was Easter, and everybody got Easter clothes, and everybody wanted Easter clothes. And we were the same. We wanted Easter clothes because we didn't want to feel left out, because we would have got teased. We would have got teased. We would have got beat up. We would have got whatever. Because we got bullied and beat up simply because of my mother's lifestyle. If you understand what I'm saying. My mother had a lifestyle that wasn't, those days, in those days it was just like that. If you wasn't on what you consider the straight kind of lifestyle, if you was living an alternative lifestyle, I don't want to go too deep in here, but hey, my mother was young, wild, living a different kind of lifestyle. She played for both teams, if you know what I mean, and we got our ass whipped and teased because of her lifestyle. Oh, your mother's this, your mother's that, and she wasn't shy about it. Everybody could see it. So that was that. But yeah, that year we almost didn't get any Easter clothes, but her friend at the time, she was real cool, and she bought us Apple Jacks, matching shirt. Back then, the farmers were in style. When farmers first came in style and gave us money to go see Bruce Lee, and man, we were happy. We ran down to the Kenmore to go see a movie. Man, it was dope. Happy times when I was a kid. As much as it can be rough, it can be tough, but it's what builds character. It's what toughens you. It can toughen you. It can weaken you. But for me, it molded my perspective on a lot of things. So I'm grateful, for whatever it was worth. Travis, sorry I almost burnt you up.